Okay, so RK and Assis is also joined, so we can start. So today you will see we are discussing here that this step WOCR or warehouse orders, this process steps is triggered, and once I break the chain from here, system is again doing this one task, means that one task is from the source to destination, and you will just create one task and do the PGI. So we'll see. I means maybe I'll configure once again the configure, remove this part and let you know on this one. So here the basic concept is coming that how many place you want to put away the things, means that means temporary you have to hold the product, maybe during the picking steps and maybe the put away steps. So in the picking times you have a different, generally at the time of picking the complex warehouse you have a 4-5 steps, like first stage is picking, after that packing, after that staging means that moving from the packing to area to the door, near to door, and last is that loading. So that is the four very common steps in this one. And once you loading task generate, and that based upon your truck door and all these things how you calculate, system determine the loading task, and once loading task is done, it means that our tracking steps, our verification steps is doing as for this one. So suppose that one delivery, you are working in the complex scenario, business scenario, here you have every day picking more than 100 deliveries, and you have a 10 to 20 doors, outbound doors. So once you pick, your steps is such a smooth process designed in such a way that for the particular delivery, once you create the task, this will cross every process, every steps smoothly, and there should not be any mix and match. So if the create the task, suppose that I am creating task, pick task, again the next 10 tasks means the picking steps, the task is created to move in the staging area, after that packing area, packing to a staging area, and once you all the HU is going till now in the different steps, you cannot trigger the next steps. So suppose that at the picking time, in out of 10 HU I only pick the 9 HU, one is not picked, so 9 HU, once I do the confirmation, only the 9 next task will create, 9 staging task will create, 9 loading task will create. So what will be the impact in this scenario? One HU is missing in some place, so system is not allowed to do the PGI, not allowed to complete the packing or picking, because this is the partial. So in the partial scenario, system is expecting something more. What is the meaning of partial? That system is here, if I check here, itself here. So see here, if this is not started. So if I picking is completed, packing is completed, then only goods issue happen. So if something is partial, means not picked 100%, status is partial. So once this is not started or partial, system not allowed to do the PGI. So in this scenario, what will happen? You have two options here. You have to pick the product, and do the complete picking packing. Otherwise, the another steps is that here you have to reduce the quantity. So suppose that I am giving I only out of 18, only I pick 15. Suppose that is the very basic scenario in the warehouse too, that you are only picking 18 in place of 18. I don't have a stock, so I just pick 15. So you have to reduce this quantity, and for this one, once you reduce, you have to adjust the quantity. So this is the three difference code is there. So once you define the what are the adjust quantity is not adjusted without quantity with quantity adjustment. So these are the, and once you do these things after picking, suppose that if you pick the 15 and after that adjust the quantity, system automatically set the delivery quantity as a 15 and set the status in the top as a complete. And once you do the PGI, our S4 delivery still has a quantity of 18. So based upon the actual picking, packing and goods issue, system will update the quantity status on the S4 delivery. So suppose that I has a scenario, my customer picking, system is saying me that you have to pick 100. I create the task, I will go in the bin, but I am getting one pallet is not in the good quality or maybe damaged. So what I have to do now? I cannot stop my shipment. So I have to go, and I don't have a stock for the batch. So here there is another scenario is that system propose the bin, you have to go and pick. If there is something damaged, you just deny the particular picking, you create the new task. System will pick the new HU, give the 20 quantity, you can process these things. That is the one way to complete the delivery. Another way is that if suppose that in the contract manufacturing and all, what will happen, what are the quantity you produce based upon this one, the delivery quantity is there. You don't have a stocks. Make to a stock scenario, MTO scenario, you have a stock. But if this is the make to orders, so make to order scenario is that you just making the things as for your orders. So I make the product as for the orders, and I go and see there is a one pallets or one means multiple things is out of the quantity. This is there. This is something is damaged. So in this scenario, I cannot fulfill my 100% what are the delivery source my delivery is saying. So but I have to also do the shipment because our truck is there. I already communicate to my customer that I am going to ship this product and all these things. So once the delivery created, at the actual picking, the system is showing that less quantity, damaged quantity, you adjust this quantity. And based upon this adjustment, because warehouse is the physically what you are doing, actual quantity you are come to know at the picking time. So based upon the pick quantity, system will adjust your delivery quantity after PGI. And based upon the this one, the PGI quantity, your status is completed and you run the invoice. So if your delivery is for 100 quantity, you cannot run the invoice for 100. If you ship 80s, you have to do the invoice on 80s quantity only. So once the quantity is updated for S4 delivery, invoice is run based upon this one. Then the second question come here, that how I fulfill the rest of the quantity. So rest of the quantity, what are the delta quantity you are not able to ship the customer, you can create the new delivery and process later so that customer has 100% fulfillment. That is the one business process. You are saying that in the define, how you define and complete the delivery quantity. So here the one scenario, what is the, you are talking about the storage steps. So suppose that once you pick the 80 quantity, your warehouse creation rule will create the storage process and you will go through all the different steps. But once you try to create the delivery for only 20 quantity, same warehouse process will not trigger because your limit is different in this scenario. Your volume of the product is different here. So how this is happen? The creation rule is here. If you go here, so see here, limit is here, filter is here. So every times where you are, when you try to set up your warehouse WOCR, what are the maximum quantity? See here, maximum weight is there, maximum quantity. So your another warehouse WO creation rule is triggered for this one. And for this, how you set up the system, is this required only to full pallets will go through this one, or the partial is also processed in the same way, or maybe partial is going to the more steps, because you have to pack everything. So you have to put the label because different product is there, different batch can be there, because once the partial pallet is handling, the partial pallet is more complex than the full pallets. That is very common statement once you go in the inside the warehouse. So why this one there? Because this is the partial quantity. Partial means this is not a full quantity. Maybe the multiple material you can put on the same pallet, multiple batch you can put in the same pallet, or you just sleeve this pallet in the same. So because of the less quantity, you have to handle different. You have to put the correct quantity inside this one. So customer will not tell you, complain that this quantity means what is the partial quantity, that is not right. Your form should be triggered accordingly. All the packing slip and everything should be triggered accordingly. Correct quantity should be there. So from delivery creation to creation of the warehouse task, orders, process steps, complete picking, after that PGI. These are the things you have to take care during the hour design. So once you are in the sitting on the design tables, you have to visualize these things. What are the different process you require? What are the different steps you require? Based upon this one, you can create the warehouse orders. Orders will trigger your steps. So I think the configuration I show you, everybody should be good. What are the chain? What are the link between, how the system is trigger from the initial to the end of the process till the picking, if the multiple steps is there. Let me know if you have any query. Anybody has a query, we will discuss, and we will discuss tomorrow once I remove the process steps, then how system behaviors. We'll check this part also. So anybody, anything is based upon this, how the business process happen? No? So no questions means I'm expecting that the configuration and the process steps what we will discuss is clear to everybody. And few things is that quality warehouse process. So okay, next time, so I'll, two big part is still we have to cover. Physical inventory I did not touch, so maybe I cover this one. One is PPF, action, that any process happened, then in the EWM scenario, the condition records, what are the printing happen, document generation, everything is through the PPF action. So how the PPF action work, what are the different conditions you have to maintain for this one, because this is based upon condition records, this will PPF will take up. So I will cover this part. In between that, go through the systems now, because I think that 60-70% we will cover. Few is left. I will go through the rest of the business process. Try to do some basic movement inbound, outbound, posting change, bin to bin, all. And let me know if you are facing any difficulties. We'll try to see the master data or the maybe the configurations. So Sudhakar, RK, Ashish, anything on this one? Otherwise, we'll meet tomorrow.
Yeah, I think good. Yeah, good. Yeah.
Okay, so steps is clear, am I right, Sudhakar?
Yeah.
Or yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you. Then we'll meet on tomorrow, same time, and I'll
Yes.
go through the once again the once I removed and how system go through, and next time we will go through the physical inventory and all.
Good. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Then see you
Thank you,
tomorrow.
Sanjay. Thank you all. Bye.